Hello everyone. So today we are going to see how to generate a school timetable online. So we have this TimetableMaster.com, which is a very good platform to generate school timetables. I have logged into the website here and we can start generating the timetable uh, after clicking on this button. Okay, so I am on the screen where I can enter my data and the system will generate a very optimal timetable for me. So this is a modern solution. This uses AI heavily, so it figures out from your input the best way to organize your timetables, to organize your periods, and then generate a very optimal schedule. So once you have the schedule from Timetable Master, you can use the studio to manually make some adjustments. There also the system helps you a lot in telling where all can a car be moved, right? And it will tell you if there are any conflicts or not. So we will dive that into later. For now, let's just focus on creating a timetable. So people, as you would know, creating or generating a school timetable is a very difficult task. And when the school or college is very big, it's nearly impossible to generate a timetable because you have a lot of teachers, you have a lot of subjects, and then you have a lot of classes. And in a week or in a day, arranging, let's suppose, maybe 400, 300, 500 periods is a very big task. And there are a lot of chances that you would be making mistakes. So the best way is to take help of some tools like Timetable Master to generate your timetable. Okay, so I will walk you through this platform, how to generate a very optimal schedule, right? So I'll just go through all the form here for once, and then we will take some sample data and generate a timetable. Okay, so to start with, we have to fill some basic details, like we can give a name to this timetable, right? I can say ABC school first semester term 1 term 2, right? You can name it any way. The purpose of naming school timetable, giving a name, is in the dashboard you will have a list of timetables, so you can always identify from the name, okay, to see which timetable you are referring to. You can define the number of periods in a day, right? So in uh, different countries, the number of periods are different, right? In some countries they are 10, 11. In some countries they are 8, 6, right? So you can define your own number of periods per day here, right? You can make it 8, you can make it 11, you can make it 12, you can make it whatever you want, right? Optionally you can set up period timings also. So listen to this carefully. Period timings are purely optional because the system will not consider them while generating the timetable. This is just for printing on the timetable. So you can skip this because you won't have to fill all the data, right? Then you can define the number of days per week when your college or your school is operating, right? Typically it is 5 days, right? So we will keep it just five, right? You can increase the number of days here, you can make it six, you can make it seven, you can reduce it. You can add breaks also. So again, breaks are also optional. They don't have any impact on the timetable that is being generated. They will just be printed in the timetable, so it looks nice that there is a break in between. You can optionally define weekend days also. Again, this is also purely optional, right? I will just say my Sunday and Saturday are weekend days, right? And once I have this data, I'll move ahead to the next step. Now this in this step we are entering the core timetable data. So for generating a timetable for any school or any college, you would have three types of data. One is the subjects that you are teaching over there, right? In colleges you might call them courses, in school you might call them subjects, right? You can add them one by one. So, so this is going to be a master list of all the subjects, like you are going to teach mathematics, English, social science, physical education, and music, right? Anything. You can add them one by one here, or you can just add them in bulk. If you have a list handy, you can copy that and paste it here, right? Now again, the next step is adding teachers. So these are the people, you in college you might call them professors, right? Or you might call them instructors, right? These are the people who are going to be there teaching the subject, right? Again, you can add them one by one, or you can add them in bulk. And the third entity is your classes or grades or groups, whatever you call them, right? So these are basically a group of students who have identical timetable, right? Who are sitting together, and one or two teachers are going to teach them some common subject, right? You can add them one by one. Again, you can add them in bulk, right? Now one more important thing to note is, when we add a subject or a teacher or a class or a group, right? You will see we have a time off thing also. So now time off is a very important feature, right? So let's say you don't want to teach some subject on some particular day or in some particular periods, right? So you can just turn it off, right? Now the system will make sure that when it is going to assign this subject um, uh, a period in the week, it will try to make sure that it skips uh, the the periods which have been marked as time off. So for those periods or those days, it will try to skip, avoid placing this uh, period for that subject, right? This is not that important for subject, but for teachers, yes. You might be having some teachers who are only available on some days of a week. So let's suppose some teacher is only available on 4 days a week, right? So you can just mark it off. Then our timetable master scheduler will schedule this teacher's classes only on the 4 days when the teacher is available throughout the week. Okay, so I'll just remove it for now. Once we have this data, now this data is just a master data, right? When we move to the step 3, that is where we are defining the actual workload of the school. So in here we are actually telling uh, which teacher is teaching which class, which subject, and how many times a week or a lesson cycle, right? So if your lesson cycle is one day, right, that means it is repeating, you have a same timetable every day, right? That's very common in some schools, right? But in most schools you will have a weekly cycle. That means every week the timetable is same, right? But uh, among the days of a week, the timetable might differ here and there, right? So here we can define the mapping between a teacher, a class, a subject, and then we can uh, assign them the number of periods per timetable cycle, right? So I'll give you one example. Let's suppose there is some, we don't have the data here. Once we have the data, then I'll show you what I mean by lesson, right? So once you enter this data, right, you can see some summary here. Right now we don't have any lessons, we don't have any classes, subjects, and teachers, so we don't have the summary, right? And then finally we go to review and generate step, where we can have one last look at the data that we just entered and click on generate timetable, right? So let's start with some test data. So I already have some data with me here. So this is a very big data. Manually um, creating a timetable for such data is going to take a lot of time, and I don't even think that is possible. So I'll just copy the subjects from here. I'll just give some name timetable, right? I want 11 periods per day. I want to have 5 days per week, right? And then I'll just click on next. I'll just bulk add the subjects. These are the subjects that I just copied. Okay, I don't want to have any time off. Now I'll go back and then I will just copy the teachers names from here, and I'll just add them in bulk. Okay, I have all the teachers here. Now I'll go back and I will just copy the classes from here. These are the classes. See, so step step 2's data is almost over now. I'll just click on next and go on to add the lessons, right? So in lessons also we can add them in bulk, right? You can give the teacher's name in the first column, the classes in the second column, subject in the third column, and periods per week or per cycle in the fourth column, right? This is how you can paste the data. I already have this data also with me. Okay, so we have the lessons data also. I'll take one example to explain what do I mean by lessons. Here I'm saying teacher Sarah Daniels is teaching maths to class 5A 12 periods in a week, right? That means our system will have to assign 12 periods for class 5A for subject math with teacher Sarah Daniels, right? The same teacher is teaching 5B also, same subject maths, 12 periods per cycle, right? Remember, in the first step we added 11 days, uh, 11 periods per day and 5 days. That means for every teacher or for every class we have 55 slots, 11 into 5, right? So this teacher Sarah Daniels, she can take at max 55 lessons, 55 periods, and same for class 5A, 5B, 5C, right? They each can have 55 periods per per week, right? We have this data here. We can check a summary as well, right? In the summary we can see teacher wise how many periods we have added. For Sarah Daniels we have 48. That means she will have 7 empty periods, right? She will free in 7 periods for the entire week, right? For the classes you would see for class 4A, 4B we have 4 periods which are empty, but for 4C, 5A, 5B, 5 we have the whole week packed, right? For these 4 classes also the whole week is packed. Okay, we have all the data that is entered now. Now we can have a look at the data that we just entered. Okay, we added 12 subjects, we added 11 classes, we added 16 teachers. In total we added 71 lesson entries, and for all the 71 lesson entries we have 589 total periods that we need to arrange, right? Now that's a very big number. Our system will try to arrange them in a very optimal way. I'll just click on generate timetable here. So see, as soon as I generate as soon as I click on generate timetable, right, our system has started working on it, right? Now for this type of big timetable the system will take about a couple of minutes to find a very optimal solution, right? But for smaller timetables, where you don't have much data, right, it will quickly give you the optimal timetable, right? When you are trying to generate the timetable, and if you're stuck somewhere, you're not able to figure out, right, if you have any doubts, you can click here or here to reach out to timetable master team. Okay, let's wait for a few seconds, and then we will have our timetable. Okay, so as you can see, we have the first version of the timetable. Now it is rearranging all the cards here and there to make it more optimal, and that is happening in the real time. While we can also see the timetable that is completed till now, right? We can stop it anywhere we want, otherwise the system will keep on working on it for a few more seconds to find a very optimal solution. So what I will do is, uh, I'll just stop it here for now, and then tell you how to edit it or how to rearrange it. So now, the timetable is there, right? You can see, right? You can filter the data here if you want to see for some particular class, or if you want to see for some particular day, right? Or if you want to see for all the days, you can scroll it over there, right? If you want to see teacher wise data, you can see this way, right? For Sarah Daniels, this is the schedule for her on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, right? You can see class wise also. Okay, if you want to arrange, if you want to manually change the timetable, you can do so. For let's suppose, for class 4B, I want to schedule uh, this card of Spanish language to period 2, right? We will drag and drop it here. Now our system has found a conflict, right? It is saying we can't place Spanish subjects uh, period here because the teacher Rachel Adams is already scheduled for period P2 on Wednesday, right? So what we can do is, we can see on Wednesday teacher Rachel Adams. Okay, so on period 2, on Wednesday, this teacher is taking French class along with Ethan Clark for grade 4A. Hence we were not able to place it over there, right? If we really want to move this Spanish lecture to P2, what we can do is we can drop this card here, right? That means we are taking it out of the schedule. Now uh, period 2 is free for both uh, the teacher as well as the class 4A, right? Now what I can do is, for class 4B I can place it here. See, now I'm able to uh, put it here. But again, now we will have to move this card back, right? So now moving this card back is again the same process. We will have to figure out what is conflicting here, and then we will have to manually rearrange it. So now arranging these cards manually is again a very challenging task, right? It's like solving a Rubik's cube. So you should know like which what is conflicting, and then how do you resolve those conflicts. So I hope this was clear. Again, if you are okay with the timetable, you can download it in Excel format, right? You can save it. When you save it, if you aren't logged in, it will ask you to log in or sign up, so that it can create an account and then map this timetable with that account. If you are logged in, it will directly save your timetable in that account, right? And once you save the timetable, it will always be there, right? You can access it from any device, and you can even share the link with your teachers or your other staff. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Do let me know in comments if you have any doubts or any questions or any feedback. Thank you so much.